morning and Jai Hind, students. I am Kanchan, and here for English topic, A Thing of Beauty, and the book name is Flamingo. So, A Thing of Beauty, written by John Keats. First, I am telling you about the poet John Keats, who was a British romantic poet, and although he was trained as a surgeon, and he decided to himself completely for the party, and then his power to sweat and delight the readers lies primarily in his gift for perceiving the world and living his moods and aspirations in terms of language. So here in this poem, the poet has expressed and also told that how much nature is important for us when we spend our time in the lap of nature, in the company of nature. So it is on our mind everlasting. It keeps everlasting impression on our mind. So the poem is based on the Greek legend in which Endymion, a young shepherd who had a vision of Cynthia, and he wants to search moon goddess, and the enchanted youth resolved to seek her out and wandered away through the forest and down under the sea. So I am going through the line by line, and I will tell you the rhyming scheme and the figures of speech also. So question arises here: what pleasure does a beautiful thing give us? Are beautiful things worth treasuring? Yes. The poet is agree with this idea that if we spend our time in the lap of nature, in the company of nature, then it gives us a lot, as it keeps everlasting impression on our mind. So the first line is here, and the second thing I am going to tell you, this poem has not been divided into stanzas. Instead, this poem has written constantly in lines. So the first line: a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quite fine for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quite breathing. Therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence, of the inhuman dearth, of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over-darkened wage made for our searching. Yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits, such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon. So, as I told you previously, in this poem the poet has emphasized upon the thing that spending time or observing nature is very important, because it keeps everlasting joy, everlasting impression on our mind. So a thing of beauty is a joy forever, means a thing of beauty becomes a joy forever on our mind, and we cannot forget it. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness. If we spend our time in the lap of nature, we get a lot, as the poet has compared this situation with sweet sleep. So the time that we spend in the lap of nature, in the company of nature, is just like a shade of a bough. As we take sleep, proper sleep under a shady plant, and after taking full sleep, complete sleep, our mind becomes cool, and we feel very happy and fresh ourselves. So it gives us health also, and we become healthy. So here the poet has compared this moment, the time that we spend in the lap of nature, with a bough that gives us sweet sleep, good health, sweet dreams and relaxation. Therefore, now the poet is suggesting here to spend our time to connect ourselves with this earth. So every morning connect yourself with this earth, with this nature, and keep yourself in the touch of nature and spend your time in the nature to observe, to spend your time. Again, the poet is here is explaining, in spite of despondence of the inhuman dearth. I am telling you the meaning of the words. Despondence means sadness, and inhuman means being inhuman, being like cruel and being insensitive. Some people are there. And dearth means scarcity, means lack, because this world is full of lack of noble people. There are people who give us sadness, who make us hopeless, or they make us sad and grieved also. So in that condition, these moments when we spend our time in the lap of nature, these moments, these beautiful aspects of nature, these beautiful things of nature help us to overcome all these emotions like sadness, like hopelessness, and when we are totally grieved. So these moments help us to come out of these problems. So all these problems like hopelessness, like become grieved, and sadness, and the things when we become distressed. So all these things that come to us due to few people who are inhuman, and who are the reason, who are the cause for all these happenings. When we become sad, when we become gloomed, so we have to refresh these memories to remove all these problems. So these beautiful aspects of nature is like things of nature are very important to remove our miseries. Some shape of beauty moves away the pall. It means when we observe nature, when we spend our time in the lap of nature, so this thing keeps us to be cool, fresh, calm, and we are able to overcome all these negativities in our mind, from our life also. So from our dark spirits such the moon, the star, the sun, trees old and young sprouting a shady boon. So the poet is here referring the things that are part of nature, like sun, moon, big and young trees, and shady plant, and a simple sheep also, animals. So the poet is saying shady plant which doesn't have any partiality, it gives shade to a simple creature like sheep. So these things are very important, and we have to admit this, and we have to spend our time in the lap of nature. And again he is referring like daffodils with the green world. Daffodils are in the surrounding of greenery, and they live in and clear rills, and it is talking about, the poet is here talking about the daffodils that are grown, that are bloomed here in the green surrounding, and in the green surrounding, in the forest, clear fresh water streams are there. We can be there cool, we can fresh our mind when we visit these places that for themselves a cooling card make against the hot season the mid forest break. Here the poet is referring to the place where a stream is there, and also daffodils are there, and there are bushes, and there are flowers also. So their sweet smell spreading all around keeps our mind refreshed, and also we feel they are fresh. And then in the extreme heat we feel cool when we stand near any stream. So its coolness pass on, and it keeps our mind fresh. We feel very happy and refreshed there. rich with the sprinkling of fair musk rose. Musk rose means type of rose. Roses are there, they are bloomed in the forest, and their sweet smell is spreading all around there. It is making the atmosphere, the surrounding very sweet and pleasant. And such too is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead. And here the poet is including one more thing about the mighty people who were very brave and who have devoted their life, who have sacrificed their lives for the sake of others. So the poet is also including these people who have sacrificed their life for the sake of others. We have imagined for the mighty dead all lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink. Now here the poet is talking about the immortal fountain is here metaphor and imagery also, because the poet is imagining that all these things are coming out through the door of heaven on the earth, and this is here pouring into us from the heavens. Brink means edge. So these things are in the form of fountain coming from the heaven through the door of the heaven to the ground, and these are making refreshed ourselves, and these are making cool ourselves. So in this poem the poet has emphasized and has forced to observe, to spend our time in the lap of nature, in the company of nature, to keep our mind refreshed and to overcome all the problems that we face in our life. Now rhyming scheme is here because these lines are constantly written, no stanzas are here. So A, B, forever, never, keep, sleep, breathing, earth, dirt. A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E, F, F, G, G. So we will change alphabet because rhyming scheme has been changed according to the rhyme of the lines. Figures of speech is here. A bower quite of us and a sleep full of sweet dreams. So here metaphor, because the poet has compared those moments we spend in the lap of nature, we spend in the company of nature, is just like a bower which gives us sweet sleep and good health, and it makes ourselves relaxed. Next is here alliteration. In the line, some shape of beauty, sa sound has been repeated. Such the sun, again sa sound has been repeated. Sprouting shady, sa sound has been repeated. And in the line, a flowery band to bind, ba sound has been repeated. So here alliteration is here, and also a flowery band to bind. Here metaphor is also. Actually the poet is not talking about any flowery garland or any flowery binding. Instead it is talking about the moments that we have to spend in the lap of nature, in the company of nature. Next is here again cooling card. So here imagery, because when we read these words we imagine cool place and secret place, because cooling cupboard means secret place, and the poet has referred here that these places are giving sweetness and giving pleasantness secretly. And then here immortal drink, endless fountain of immortal drink, here is imagery. Then simple sheep, again alliteration, sa sound has been repeated. Cooling card, sa sound has been repeated. So here these figure of speech are here. So we have read in this poem that the poet is has forced to spend our time in the lap of nature, in the company of nature, so that we can remove our miseries, problems, and we can be refreshed, we can be relaxed, cool. Thank you and Jai Hind.